one likes to sit on the dead man's stool. The dead man's stool is the one closest to the dartboard. You are jostled by buttocks and elbows of distracted throwers, and a stray bounce back could land in your drink, or your arm, or pierce your neck like happened once with that chap that died, they say, but no one really believes that happened. The dead man's stool is the one closest to the front door. You were disrupted by staggering incomers and outgoers, and on a cold night it sends a chill up your back and through your bones, and led to one man dying of pneumonia, they say, but no one really believes that happened. The dead man's stool is the one closest to the carpet stain, that looks like blood and won't wash out, from the man that staggered in one night, shot or stabbed, and fell with one hand reaching out to grab the leg of the stool, they say. But no one really believes that happened. No one likes to sit on the dead man's stool. Let's do Dot and Doris. Dot and Doris sit under the clock. Timeless, but like clockwork, they appear and leave at the same time each day and sit in the same seats and drink the same drinks. They sit at Betty's table every weekday afternoon until tea time calls. Dot drinks stout in a half-pint glass. Good for a blood, she says, if asked. Doris drinks vodka and lime because it makes her feel young, she'll say to anyone nearby. Everyone thinks they know them, but no one really does. Dot's short for Dorothy, never Dotty, and once Lady Dorothea, the singing sensation, a name in a faded flyer at the bottom of a drawer, a one-night career never talked of again. It was the night she met Mike and celebrated too hard, as she discovered the next month. But Mike was a man, so he stood by her and over her. A fallen woman, never allowed to fall and never allowed to rise above housewife and mother. 3 more followed later, now all grown up and gone. But Mike lingers on in the home where she visits, to wish him good morning and talk to his stare, till he snores, say it's past midday, and she bids her goodbyes for a quick park sandwich and a perfectly timed stroll to the local in time to meet Doris. Dear Doris, the Docker's Delight, in a name never used except by Doris herself, a good time girl from the east end of town who would go from bar to club to party to dawn. She would hitch up her skirts and dance on the table, never showing too much, but more than enough to tempt a young docker to buy her more drinks, for a kiss and a cuddle and hope of much more. But Doris wasn't that type of girl who gave it away. Still, she never found the man that would give her what she needed. And despite her mother's warnings, she never did run to fat, but as years passed by, the flow of dockers grew thin. She still puts on her face, some perfume, some jewels. There's always a chance she might meet the man of her dreams, but she enjoys meeting Dot for a chat nonetheless, and then it's off home for a tea and TV. Dot and Doris sit under the clock, sipping their stout and vodka and lime, and chat about the newlywed, the newly born and the newly dead, and all the goings on in between. They sit at Betty's table, but there's no Betty to join them. There's been no Betty as long as anyone can remember. But there was a Betty once, and this is where she sat. So at Betty's table it remains, just like Dot and Doris, until the clock moves on and another tea time calls, and timeless is turned into another time.